Hey guys, Silverlord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Savage Crucible convention exclusive. There's going to be no OGsms here. This was relatively easy to get if you were on top of things. It was on Big Bad Toy Store for a little bit. I think the Savage Crucible website even had it for a little bit. But at any rate, this is the shield of Guerra, something like that, brought to us by the fine folks over at Harbinger Studios, as well as my good friend, at least I consider him a friend anyways, Sven Guerra over on Yield Facebook, of all places. That said, I will leave a link in the description below to his Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent ya. And, you know, be nice, or I will find you. You will not like the consequences, I assure you. But he was kind enough to hook me up with this figure for a very, very good price. Not going to say what that is, but at any rate, it was an offer I could not refuse. So I picked it up, and boy oh boy am I glad that I did, because this figure was worked on by Miss Nikki Nicole Cheney, formerly of Mythic Legions fame. Now I feel that she's invested more time into Savage Crucible, which good on her. It's nice to finally have a piece of her work without paying an arm and a leg for it. Not that it's not worth it, but I don't have that kind of cash. That said, this character is loosely inspired by a snake she used to care for, which, that's pretty metal, right? Carrie King from Slayer has snakes. So does Nikki Nicole Cheney. Okay, but at any rate, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all the Shield of Guerra has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of claw hands, as a lizard man should. We also have two alternate monitor lizard heads. My good buddy Evil Villain will be stoked on these. Likes himself some monitor lizards. They both have hinged jaws. You can open the mouth like so. I will say the mouths on this guy were pretty stuck out the box, but after messing with it for a little bit, I was able to get him to move. It also comes with this curved sword right here. Almost like a piratey sword. I believe this comes with the warrior with ball and chain from the Barbarians wave. It was probably first introduced with this guy. Same with the scabbard on his belt. We also get this sort of wired soft goods cloak. It's not the best wired soft goods piece I own by any means, but it's just like a cloak or a poncho or whatever that kind of just drapes over him. It's made out of, almost feels like creepy cloth. He does have a peg hole on the back. I'm assuming they put that there so you could maybe put some weapons on his back, maybe? I'm not sure. I just put this around his neck. I don't know if there's another way this is supposed to sit, but this hole is very specifically placed here. Now I'm going to have to go watch Dorklayer's video, because that guy actually knows what the hell he's doing. But, yeah, there's a little hole right here. Right there. You can see it with my finger. And I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be there. Right? Feels intentional. That's what it feels like. It feels intentional. Feels like there might be something going on with this. But what that is, I don't know. So, either way, it's a tattered cloak. It's got that little peg hole in it or something. And, yeah. Now I'm curious what that's for. I might have to play that video later. See what's up with that. That said, you also get a sword, mystery bag, dealio, which is common with these figures nowadays. I remember the first wave, you didn't get any of these, so If you buy any from the first wave now, I'm kind of curious if they come with them. But, well, it is a sword I have plenty of. It's in a different color. It's like a greenish tint to it this time, which is pretty sick. So I'll probably display this with him. I think it works good with his color palette. But taking a closer look at the shield of Guerra. No shield included, which is wild to me. Very surprised he does not have a shield. He does have a very He-Man-esque chest piece, though, the way it comes up and over and whatnot. Then he does have the kind of gladiator skirts here. He does have a little potion bottle on his belt, which is cool. I'm starting to wonder, is this for his crotch? Is that where that goes? Could be. That hole could be for the tail. But I tend to put it over his shoulders. But at any rate, he does have the scabbard here, which I will sheathe the other sword in. Like so. There you go. And now we can go over articulation. Let's look at that snake head too. That's pretty gnarly. I'm torn. I want to use this head, but I don't have a monitor lizard guy, and this head's a little more basic looking. But man, oh man, is it still freaking cool. He does have the double ball peg in the head, so you can look up pretty well. You can look down. You can tilt side to side and rotate, of course. You saw the hinged mouth. Because what could be more scary than a snake, right? Not a lot of things, I'm afraid. Shoulders, we're able to see the full range here because he's got no shoulder armor, which this guy is pretty bare bones, I'm not going to lie. Compared to Veterus or Pax, I was expecting a lot more accessories, but it is what it is. He does have the beautiful butterfly, which these guys got some of the best butterflies in the business. They're not all seized up like Hasbro's. They do also have a rotation in the shoulder. See on the backs of the shoulders he does have the peg holes, which is a little jarring, but it is what it is. We've gotten used to that with Mythic Legions. They have the peg holes on the backs too. We do have a double elbow that works pretty well. You do get your, basically the bicep is a cap and you just rotate it with the lower arm. That's the best way to do that. He does have forearm twist as well, so you can do that. Does have a swivel in the wrist with the appropriate hinge rolling weapons. Thank you very much. Torso joint is on point as always. You can bend him like way forward and way back, especially if you got the belt pulled down like I do. This guy gets insane freaking range. It is nuts. It is nuts. He does also have rotation in both the diaphragm and the waist. And some crazy... Look at this freaking tilt. With just the ball joint on the waist. Look at that tilt. So much freaking range with just a singular ball peg. One. Not two, not three, not four. One. These guys just know what they're doing. A little potion bottle can spin there. You can take that off. It actually comes off. It's separate in the package. I think his belt might be a separate piece. No. Hips can kick out reasonably far. Do the splits. Double knee works fine. Woo! Nice and tight too. He does have a thigh cut as well as a swivel at the knee. NECA-esque joints, but I think they work a little better. He does have a calf cut, but it's really stiff. He does have the ball hinge ankles, though. That will rotate, hinge, and pivot. He's got peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but I'm not sure what stand he could use. McFarlane stand's pegs are too long, so I guess if you got one of those and just cut the peg like halfway, that would work. His tail pop up like so. It is segmented so you can get all kinds of range out of that. But that is the shield of Discara in a nutshell. Why don't we actually swap that monitor lizard head on? Let's give you an idea what that looks like. And I'm going to put the cloak around his neck for now. Maybe at some point I'll bring this guy back out for comparison to show you that, yes, the cloak probably does go around his waist. There you go. That is a satisfying pop if I ever heard one, but there you go. Oh, his cloak is all crooked. There we go. There we go. I mean, you can put it around its shoulders and it looks fine, but I'm starting to think that, yeah, it's probably meant to go around his waist. And I think it'll probably look cooler down there, if I'm being honest with you. But that is the Shield of Discara. Very cool figure. A little light on accessories, but I'm very happy to have him. I like the albino snake look. Maybe if I can get him a pair of pauldrons, he'd look a little bit better. But I'll have to ask around and see if there are any that match. Because I want ones that match, you know? I'm very... For somebody who's visually impaired and can't really see colors too well anymore, I'm very OCD when it comes to colors matching for some stupid reason. I guess because mentally, I know it doesn't work. So, with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Shield of Discara, alongside the other two traveling exclusives from the fine folks over at Harbinger Studios. We have Veterus Rapax, who we took a look at earlier this year, and the Imperial Sentry, worked on by Eric Miller of the Mythic Enablers podcast, FYI. That was the very first Savage Crucible figure I ever got. And I must say, while the Imperial Sentry didn't come with much of anything either, he was also a little cheaper than both the Shield of Discara and Veterus Rapax here. However, I do feel like I got my money's worth with all these figures, all three of these figures. They have their own values in what they bring to the table. Veterus Rapax comes with a lot of weapons. Imperial Sentry has that Kickstarter exclusive tag to his name, as well as the Eric Miller connection. And then this Shield of Discara, not only does it have 3 different heads, it's got the soft goods, and it's also got the Nikki Nicole Cheney angle going for it. So I have different values on all 3 of these. I like them for different reasons, but as far as value per dollar goes, it's definitely in Veterus Rapax's favor. He just comes with the most stuff. We're getting these 2 out of the way. So we can bring in our 2 regulars. The Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who is about neck and neck with our Shield of Discara here. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I am very happy to finally have this figure amidst my Savage Crucible collection, I have to say, in comparison to the other convention exclusive Veterus Rapax, he seems very light on the accessories and light in terms of the figure itself. Very light armor, no shoulder armor whatsoever. However, he does have the soft goods shroud or cloak or poncho, whatever you want to call it, and 3 different head sculpts to choose from. Not many of these figures come with alternate heads in general. This guy comes with 3. That's definitely something to write home about. And I am glad that the mystery bag weapon I got is not a repeat from one of the ones I got in the Barbarians wave. It's the same sculpt, but it's green instead of red this time. So it's different enough for me. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.